Alright, so first off, don't mind all the crap about there. Signed through a lot of stuff, so there's loads of junk over there. So I've been watching a lot of documentaries recently. I've been watching some actual documentaries, but I've been watching a lot of this uh, garbage. It's very much similar to channels like Moon, Jake Tran, all those kind of things where they're saying that how evil every company is, and there are some bad practices by some companies. Don't get me wrong, but some of them are just exaggerated or just uh, plain dumb. Okay, so I mean, take for example, I mean, look, right. So, I mean, this evil food supply is relatively new as a channel. Its first video was 4 months ago. So drink. So yeah, first video was 4 months ago. It was about fluoride, and then here they're mentioning fluoride again. And then if we get shorts, there's fluoride, and then I think there's another short that mentions fluoride. The evil history of fluoride here again. I think this might have fluoride in it. So yeah, they're really cross about fluoride. Now, the problem with uh, you know their claims on fluoride, I believe it's sodium fluoride, but there's stannous fluoride as well. I don't know about everything about fluoride, but um, that there's a lot of there's articles going back and forth of which is good, which is do the benefits outweigh the negatives and stuff like that. But a lot of people have been drinking fluoridated water for years and seemingly have no ill effects. I think it's more the concentration of it. I mean, naturally, I mean, even when you have normal water, like back in ye old times, like, you know, 10,000 plus years ago or something, but most people drank water from rivers, and okay, maybe longer than 10,000 years ago, but I'm basically saying before civilization, okay, we basically drank waters out of springs, rivers, things like that, natural sources of water. Now, obviously, you just go to a tap and, you know, and that's how normal people do it now, but, rivers and springs. But even if when it goes through there, it goes through over rocks and things like that, and it gathers all sorts of impurities, which some people say, I mean, when you buy bottled water or mineral water from the store, they think, they say these minerals are good, these bits of rocks and stuff that's in the water is good for you. Some people say it's not good for you. If you have water that's too pure, apparently that's bad for you. But if you have too many impurities, it's bad for you. So it's a bit of a mess. So the problem is if these are supposed to be documentaries, they don't say, well, evidence suggests. They just go, it's really bad for you. That's what this. That's just that. That's basically what they do. And sometimes they just get shit wrong for no good reason. I mean, if we go to like this one.
American foods that are banned in other countries, part 2. Number 4, Skittles.
So okay, so we're wrong at the get go. Okay, because Skittles are not banned in the EU, or at least very very much not in the UK. I mean, the last time I went on holiday to a European country, they were still there. That was a few years ago, mind you. But I went to the petrol station, like yesterday. There were Skittles in there, so this doesn't make any sense.
Skittles contain titanium dioxide, a chemical used by food companies to make candy bright and colorful. Titanium dioxide also causes lung tumors in rats, and this
So I mean, lung tumors in rats again sounds bad, but there's some things that are bad for some animals that are not so bad for other animals. For example, you give a dog, a lot of chocolate, make them very ill. If you give a person a lot of chocolate, at least in the first instance, they'll be absolutely fine. If you give them excessive amounts over extended periods of time, they might get a bit fat and diabetes. But that's you can get diabetes from all sorts. It's not exclusively chocolate. It's just to do with the sugar content and what have you. So there's one example. There's probably loads of others. I mean, like warfarin, for example, is a rat poison, but for us it's a medication. Now again, that's probably dosage on warfarin. If you give a rat a really minuscule, tiny amount of warfarin, it'll probably live. And if you give a human loads and loads of warfarin, they'll probably die. So, you know, um, but yeah, when you see stuff like that where it says gives rats, what was it, tumors or cancer or whatever, it's, you got to take it with a pinch of salt, because although it's the reason they do human trials after like animal testing is because animal testing like this isn't conclusive. It gives early indications, and if generally if they're fine, then they go on to, but then sometimes they find out that it's fine for rats and it's not fine for humans, or vice versa. So just it's not overly good
This is
evidence.
why it's been banned in Norway and the EU.
Okay, so now he's just. I have to keep pausing because it just keeps tripping up. So he just said it's banned in Norway and the EU. Okay. Whilst providing an article and highlighting the area, says, despite the EU's concerns, Skittles aren't banned in Sweden and Norway because of the titanium dioxide additive inside the candy. In the candy, sorry. So they're not banned, at least based on the article that he's providing to use as evidence to say that they are banned. So I really don't need to do any further research because he's provided that. And even if we go further down, he says also if you get your hands on a packet of Skittles, they'll probably taste a little different because they are coloured naturally using spices, veggies, and fruits. So maybe I was a little different. However, it does say though the EU hasn't banned yellow 5 and yellow 6 dyes, it requires that any food containing the colours must be packaged with a warning, etc. So they put a warning on it, but even then you can still have the colour. And I'm pretty sure I've been to Selfridges and they've got like American, because they've got all sorts of American stuff, like Lucky Charms and Fruit Loops and all that sort of thing. And I'm pretty sure I've seen like American Skittles. The packaging looks a bit different, so I reckon they've probably got the fancy colourings in there. But yeah, they're not banned. Skittles aren't banned, so wrong that one.
EU. Number 5, American milk. As of today, 9.7% of US dairy farmers feed synthetic growth hormones to their cows. These fake hormones mess with your hormones and can cause some major problems down the road, including cancer. This is why Canada and the EU have banned the sale of American milk. Number 6.
I'll take his word for that. I mean, people have been on the debate of just general milk, despite the hormones bit. Some people say milk's good for you, some people say milk's bad for you. I'm personally in the good camp. I've drunk milk with breakfast and stuff my entire life. Not a problem. Which they've got a video on breakfast, by the way, which is hilarious. So yeah. I mean, I know it's not a conclusive argument that, because obviously there's some people out there that have smoked their entire life and they live to like 80 or whatever, no lung cancer. So just saying, oh yeah, you've drank milk means you're fine. Obviously, I know isn't evidence. It's just like when you eat like a pizza, your tummy feels a bit icky afterwards. Like you really enjoy it eating the pizza, but it's shit food. Okay, or like McDonald's or whatever, or I'm drinking Pepsi right now, and if you drink a lot of this, you get all gaseous and stuff like that. And that's shit. Okay, but when you drink milk, you just don't. It's not the same sort of category of, you don't know that it's shit, if you know what I mean. And because it comes out of a cow, it's like, I mean, unless it's been modified, it's not like I mean, that is just they've produced something in a lab to make that, because this is sugar-free pop. So God knows what's in there, but.
6, American chicken. After they're slaughtered and plucked, US chicken producers bathe their birds in a delicious soup of chlorine bleach.
Okay, well this one is true. Okay. Let's see what else he says.
Yum. This is why the EU has banned the sale of US-made chicken since 1997.
So that's true. So the last one's true entirely. They do have chlorinated chicken over there. We don't buy it over here. We have our own. There's no real need for us to buy anyway, because I'm guessing it's cheaper for us to just purchase our own anyway, after shipping costs and stuff, because the margins, I imagine, on poultry and things like that is pretty low. So, I mean, you can buy like a full chicken for, well, like 4 quid, 5 quid or something, whatever it is, it's peanuts. So I don't know what the cost is of ruining it, but I imagine the profits aren't that high if they can sell the entire chicken, where they got to feed it and shelter it and make sure it's disease free, and then they got to process it and deliver it. All that hassle for like a fiver for a chicken. I don't know how to do it really. So yeah, there's one. So there's the first one downright wrong, one in the middle, depends, and then the third one is true. So it's a, it's a bit of a for a documentary, they either haven't done basically they either haven't done the proofreading on that first one, and they've just pushed it out, which isn't indicative of somebody who's doing a documentary, or they intentionally, which I believe more, because they went to the effort of editing it to highlight the text and all that sort of stuff. That they're just trying to sort of make, because they imagine that most people won't read it. Which, to be fair, when I first watched that and I saw the comments and stuff, people didn't notice it at all. There probably is a few comments now where people have noticed it, but most people are ignorant and they just take their word for it, you know. So breakfast. Breakfast is literally a scam. That's a good, newspaper headline. Breakfast is a scam. Click on that.
This is the evil history of breakfast.
The evil history of breakfast. What do they do? Do they grind up babies to make the flakes? Do they, does it contain uranium or something? Let's find out.
Remember Kellogg's, the innocent cereals you ate as a kid? Turns out there's a dark secret behind its creation. See, John Kellogg, the brains behind the breakfast brand, was very religious and believed that sex was evil. Pleasuring.
Okay, so obviously that's dumb. I mean, he's the product of two people having sex. So he's obviously a bit brain dead. That's assuming this statement's true. I haven't checked that statement of whether he believed sex was evil, but sure, why not? What does this have to do with the cereal, though?
Yourself was even more sinful. For John Kellogg, sex was the main reason why men commit murder and other vicious crimes. So he was on a holy crusade to free people's minds of sinful thoughts. And he had a simple idea to achieve that: a super bland diet. It should be so boring, so bland, so tasteless. He was literally trying to kill people's sex drive. So he invented a breakfast based on cornflakes and granola.
I love that. They literally show a cornflake bowl with bananas and stuff in there, which bananas are tasty and sweet and interesting. So something's bland. People just put stuff in it. Like rice is bland on its own, and people put, chicken and spices and things like that with it. Or, and chips arguably are bland, but it goes well with a burger or hot dog or whatever. You don't just have it on its own most of the time. Well, okay, chips you can have it on its own, I guess, but
no sugar, no added flavors, no spices, just boring, bland cereals to kill your passion. And voila, Kellogg's was born.
So there we go. That's the evil history. They made a bland cereal, because all that other stuff is relevant. His opinion of this Kellogg's dude, regardless of what his opinion, he could have been a Nazi, he could have been, some slave owner or whatever. It doesn't matter how bad he was. Okay, it doesn't. They're saying breakfast is literally a scam. That's the headline, and they basically say the cornflakes is bland. That's it. I know cornflakes are bland. And I love how they show that box with strawberries and stuff on there, basically saying encourage. Now I know Mr. Kellogg's probably is dead now, and the new company's taken. So this isn't indicative, but he's showing that box. So I don't know. But even so, even if it's just bland cereal, who cares? It's not an evil history. I'm sorry, it isn't. Regardless of Mr. Kellogg's whatever, it's just stupid. So you get the idea. I'm not going to go through them all because the videos are like half an hour long. So this is the whole video, but a lot of it's just dumb stuff. Also, a lot of these where they complain of this, that, and the next thing are generally like American things that have gone wrong, not like European things, because America's just, they just do whatever they want. So, yeah, but yeah, if you're gonna watch this kind of stuff, take it with a pinch of salt, because quite often they'll exaggerate stuff or get stuff wrong for no fucking reason.